T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
Coach on Fire Radio.
I am the tiger, dancing through the fire. I am the champion, and you're gonna hear me roar.
Good evening. This is High Performance Leadership with your host, Stephen Bryant. And ladies and gentlemen, I am super pumped tonight. I found out yesterday that this radio show has been approved by iHeartRadio. And that is big. I just got a message from my friend who was here at Fort McMurray a couple years ago, was transferred to Holland, and he said, "Hey, Steve, good to hear what's happened." And he says, "We have iHeartRadio in Holland." I thought, well, all right, Jason, this is just as awesome. So it is, it's good news. And again, really pumped about this show tonight. I am going to be interviewing my good friend and partner, Jaunai Walker. She has, since we first met in 2016 in Orlando at the John Maxwell certification event. And we hit it off, been good friends since. So it's going to be a great show tonight. And just a little bit about me. I am a former pastor. I pastored two churches for 20 years in New Brunswick and St. John's, Newfoundland. The last 5 years, I've been in executive positions with the nonprofit world, with a homeless drop-in center, and as well right now I'm working with a nonprofit organization that helps families in crisis. I'm also, as I said before, certified John Maxwell coach, trainer, and speaker. I am also an avid photographer. So if you're looking for me on Facebook, you can find me on @Coach or High Performance Coaching with Stephen Bryant on Facebook. I'm the guy standing in front of a red T-bird if you want to connect with me as a friend on Facebook, and Stephen Bryant Photography with a beautiful shot of Dinner Cove out in British Columbia I just took maybe 3 weeks ago as a sunset there. So be looking for me there. I'm also on Twitter. I'm also on LinkedIn with Stephen Bryant, and the Twitter is Steve Bryant 007. I'm also on Instagram as Pastorman 007. So you see a little bit of a James Bond tint there. Anyway, I am excited tonight to be talking about some different things with Jaunai. And one of the things that she mentioned when we had connected earlier is, what does it take to believe in yourself? And as I've been looking through some leadership principles and hear people talking, and actually just talking recently with some millennial entrepreneurs, is one of the things or pain points they have is fear. And it's interesting because I think one of the things that fear brings is definitely it's debilitating for one thing. But how do you believe in yourself? How do you bring out that leadership within you so that you're not afraid? How do you believe in yourself? Is it something within you that somebody else can bring out? Is it something that you have to muster up yourself? So some of these questions that we'll be talking about tonight with our guest. And again, I would like to introduce to you the beautiful Jaunai Walker. Jaunai,
Hi.
we'll be discussing, hey, how are you doing tonight?
Great.
That is great. It's good to have you here. And Jaunai will be discussing the art of how to sell yourself and the value you bring confidently with anyone and anywhere in business or in career. So I'm looking forward to this time tonight. Jaunai, or Jay, or Miss J as she's known, is a speaker, a coach, and a trainer. She has her MBA, helps people and businesses close the gap between where they are and where they want to be. Jay gives others the keys to winning big as entrepreneurs and in the corporate world. She has been featured contributor in the Leadership TKO Magazine. She is co-author of the book, Wake Up, How to Revitalize Your Personal and Professional Relationships. She is, now listen to this, the 2017, the 2017 Rising Star Leadership winner for, is it SiikeTV or Siike?
SiikeTV, yes.
SiikeTV, yeah. And I remember that when you were advertising that. That was a great thing. The
Yeah.
2017 40 under 40 in South Florida. And that's a big thing. We were just had a magazine article come out of the top 50 under 50 in Fort McMurray, which is a big thing because the average age is only about 32.
Wow.
So that's a big thing. And the 2018 Rising Star Business Entrepreneur of the Year. Wow, that's fantastic, Jaunai.
Thank you.
She currently resides in Fort Lauderdale area of Florida. So welcome tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Stephen. I'm so excited, not only just to be here tonight, but I'm excited about what's happening for you right now. Can you believe
Thanks.
iHeartRadio, huh?
I know.
Not too shabby. Not too shabby.
No, I heard that yesterday, and I was up dancing around and went Yahoo and all those other things. It was one of those, one of those breakthrough moments, and I'm thinking, wow, this is huge. So again, thankful to those with Coach on Fire and with those who are listening in with iHeartRadio that approved the show. So, yeah, I'm super stoked. And, again, thank you for the congratulations.
Absolutely. It couldn't have happened to a better person.
Oh,
For you to be able to share your knowledge with people is one thing, but the opportunity that other people have to listen to your heart, that's what I'm most excited about, because the one thing that I know about you is, first off, your love for Christ, but your love for other humans. And I know that you're going to be wildly successful. And I can't wait. I'm sitting back, Stephen, and I'm watching you on this journey. I am watching you in awe on this journey. So congratulations, and keep pushing. Keep pushing. This is awesome.
Well, thank you. And I think that's one of the keys is you keep at it. A lot of people said, how did you get to do this? And I said, I just kept at it. Like a lot of times when, in fact, when I was at work the other day, it said, somebody said, congratulations. And she said, that's a lot of hard work, isn't it? And I said, it is. And I said, I think a lot of people don't realize that. They see your highlight reel and thinking, how did that person get to be so successful?
Mm-hmm.
They must know the right people. That is a small part in it sometimes, but I think, the great thing is that hard work, that discipline, that I had another interview with this person who does paint, and he says a lot of times, he says, I just don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
And then then I do it.
Yeah.
Because I know that if I don't, things aren't going to go anywhere. So he's very successful, and a lot of it is he disciplines himself. And I think that's the key to it.
Absolutely. I would agree with that, because a lot of times we get caught up in our feelings. Oh, I don't feel like going to the gym today. I don't feel like eating right? Oh, I'm not motivated to do anything. Well, motivation actually works in reverse. You get up, you start doing it, and then you become motivated. You shouldn't wait for motivation to come, because
it will never come.
it's some people are fortunate to have that, but for the majority of us, it happens in reverse. We actually have to get up and put action behind it. And I'll tell you what, I'll talk to you a little bit about how I became successful in my sales career. But the biggest reason why I feel like I was successful was just because I was able to capitalize on the fact that people were not going to do what it takes to be successful. And so I just did what everybody else wouldn't do.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
That's the way to do it. Yeah, I love that. So for those who don't know who we are, we met in 2016 in Orlando, the John Maxwell certification event, and we hit it off. What I loved about you, and still love about you, is the fact that you're one of the things that really speaks to me is you're a very kind person, and that's what I love about you. And you're willing to listen to people, and I think that's key too in leadership, is the ability to listen to people. You took the time to listen to me, and then I hear about a lot of the things that you're doing. And I said, this person is a person to really pay attention to. And definitely a lot of people are paying attention to what you have to say and what you're doing, and they're following after you.
Yeah.
And then from there, you were talking about earlier about watching me. So I've been watching you and some of the things that were bold moves, because I remember not long after that you gave up your job. I believe you were in pharmaceutical sales. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was actually doing medical sales. I was in pharmaceutical sales at one point, and then I kind of switched over to just doing medical for like 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, in January of 2017, I gave it all up to pursue my dream of actually helping other people reach their dreams. And last year, that's what I did, and I had one of the best years ever. I'm doing that, yes.
So that is a bold move. I mean,
Yeah.
to give that up and go after your dreams. So what as you're contemplating that, what are some of the fears that you were thinking about in making that move?
Well, some of the fears I faced were, how am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to eat? How am I going to feed my enormous makeup habit that I love to go out and purchase like every single lipstick that comes out? But no, more importantly, I was struggling with the idea of, do I give up something that I'm good at to go and take the opportunity to maybe fail at something that I could possibly be great at, right? And that was a struggle, because you do have to take a look at, finances and where you are and corporate growth and being, doing some really good things in one arena, but knowing that you just weren't, extremely 100% happy. And, I didn't want to wake up and be, 97 years old and say, well, what if I would have taken that chance? And I think that fear overshadowed, okay, how do I pay my rent? How do I eat? What do I do? So that's what led me to, be able to take that jump. I had a fear of not truly living out my purpose. And that purpose was to really help other people realize the true potential that they possessed to go and live out their dreams. And, that's something that I'm very passionate about and I'm very strategic about. And I'll tell you a little bit about what I'm doing now, because as life kind of takes its turns, it's kind of turned me in a whole different direction that I never thought would have been possible for myself, but it's still allowing me the opportunity to carry out what I believe is my purpose and my mission. And so that's kind of, some of the things that I thought about when I had to give up a very, lucrative career, doing very well in a company, and I just was not happy. And a lot of people didn't understand, well, how could you not be happy? You're ranked #1 in the nation. You're making really good money. You have a great schedule, but something within me just was not 100% happy. And so the biggest fear was never finding that happiness. Yeah.
That sounds a lot like my journey, because I was in retail back in the 80s in management, doing quite well. I just been named to their new, when the superstores first started coming along back in the mid 80s in Maine anyway, and was named to the management staff there, and then had accomplished my 5-year goals within maybe 2 years, and it just wasn't satisfying anymore. And again, there was a long process of what happened for me to take my family and move to Canada to pursue pastoral studies. And I remember one of my friends who has been a pastor, has been on the mission field and back. And I remember one particular moment where we were walking up this dirt road in the rural New Brunswick, and we